When we think about precision fermented foods, proteins brewed in tanks, enzymes grown in bioreactors, dairy-identical molecules produced without animals, the halakhic conversation naturally turns to the facility itself. What happens when these products are manufactured in plants that also process non-kosher ingredients? Do tanks, pipes, valves, membranes, or filters carry halakhic status in a way that affects the final product? And can kosher certification function confidently when novel foods enter complex industrial environments? The encouraging reality is that Halacha has a long, well-developed framework for cross-contamination. It is not entering unfamiliar territory. Instead, it is applying deeply familiar principles, BLIOT, absorbed tastes, Kebolo Catchpolto, as absorbed, so released, temperature thresholds, material types, and the rules of Ben Yomo, to a new but highly manageable scenario. In many ways, precision fermentation may prove easier for kosher supervision than traditional food production because the processes are cleaner, standardized, and fully documented. The first major halakhic concern is heat transfer. Non-kosher status is typically transmitted through hot contact, cooking, boiling, steaming, or soaking at high temperatures. Precision fermentation, however, usually occurs at tightly controlled, moderate temperature conditions designed for optimal microbial growth. Many fermentation systems operate around 30 to 50 degrees Celsius, far below halakhic thresholds for taste transfer. While kosher certifiers still require CAVID-level supervision, the simple fact that the process avoids extreme heat significantly reduces the risk of cross-contamination. In this sense, science helps Halacha. The needs of microbes align with the requirements of kosher law. A second area is equipment material. Stainless steel dominates fermentation facilities. Halacha has long known that stainless steel is a highly favorable material for koshering. It is non-porous, durable, and easily subjected to koshering procedures like Hagala, boiling water, or even Libin Kal, light heating when needed. In contrast to older factories involving porous stone, wood, or unlined vats, modern bioreactors offer predictability. Pipes, centrifuges, and downstream filtration systems also tend to be metal or high-grade polymers, which Halacha handles with clarity. This means that even if non-kosher substances are processed in the same building, the equipment itself can often be fully koshered between runs with a consistent, validated protocol. The third halakhic factor is system closure. Biotech facilities typically operate with closed-loop systems, sealed tanks, automated transfers, and CIP/SIP, clean-in-place/sterilize-in-place procedures. This is extraordinarily positive for kashrut. Halacha values seder, order and control, and biotech facilities excel in both. Because contamination jeopardizes product quality, companies build their processes around sanitation, traceability, and separation long before kosher concerns arise. The very things that keep precision fermented proteins pure from a scientific perspective also help them remain halakhically straightforward. At the same time, shared facilities require careful mapping of production floors. A plant that produces precision fermented milk protein in one area and non-kosher enzymes or animal-derived compounds elsewhere may need physical barriers, dedicated lines, or strict scheduling. These are standard tools in the world of industrial kosher certification. Many kosher plants already run non-kosher ingredients in different shifts, with full kosherization between them. Precision fermentation simply extends that model and sometimes makes it easier because the cleaning cycles are automated and logged electronically. Another positive development is documentation. Biotech manufacturers maintain meticulous batch records, material safety data sheets, ingredient origin documentation, and equipment validation logs. Kosher agencies benefit enormously from this transparency. When certifiers can verify exactly what flowed through every pipe, and when they can rule with clarity rather than uncertainty. This helps reduce halakhic doubt and increases consumer confidence. In older food factories, undocumented practices sometimes created ambiguity. In modern biotech, data-driven oversight strengthens halakhic precision. There is also the question of shared utilities, steam lines, glycol jackets, CIP systems. Halakhic authorities typically treat these indirectly connected systems differently from direct food contact surfaces. Most heating and cooling systems do not exchange product, and steam contact is usually through sealed jackets rather than direct injection. This system design prevents BLIOT from traveling and helps maintain a kosher status, even in shared buildings. When direct steam is used, it is nearly always sterile, and halakhic authorities can evaluate its source and flow with high confidence because industrial steam systems are standardized and thoroughly documented. One might expect that the involvement of genetically engineered microbes or fermentation agents could create halakhic complications, but in reality, the opposite is often true. Precision fermented proteins are produced with high-level sanitation, controlled environments, and minimal ingredient variability. This allows kosher authorities to assess cross-contamination risk with greater certainty than in traditional dairy or meat processing, which involves vastly more variables, animal-derived enzymes, dairy residues, porous materials, and complex thermal pathways. Even from an economic and communal policy perspective, the outlook is positive. Because precision fermentation opens new kosher markets, kosher agencies are incentivized to build partnerships with biotech firms. These collaborations encourage best practices, dedicated equipment, labeling clarity, scheduling systems that minimize risk, and enhanced kashrut protocols that become industry standards. Far from isolating kosher consumers, novel foods often push manufacturers to adopt higher levels of sanitation and segregation that benefit all consumers. The kosher framework becomes an asset, not a burden. Ultimately, Halacha does not resist shared facilities. It manages them with intelligence. It asks, what touched what? At what temperature? For how long? Through which material? Under what level of separation? Precision fermentation provides clear, measurable answers to these questions, allowing Halacha to operate with precision rather than approximation. And as new foods continue to enter the market, this clarity strengthens both consumer trust and the integrity of the kosher system. In the end, the halakhic implications of cross-contamination in shared facilities are not warnings, they are opportunities. They highlight how modern technology and ancient law can work hand in hand, using transparency, engineering design, material science, and kosher expertise to ensure that innovation enhances rather than complicates observance. Precision fermentation does not strain the kosher system. It offers new ways for Halacha to express its values with confidence, rigor, and optimism.